Good morning, good evening, good night. Wherever you may be watching, happy Friday to you. Excited to be bringing you NFT live on the Web3 network. We're going to Avengers this shit today. We're going to have some good Friday fam updates here. We've got a lot happening across, of course, the entire Web3 industry. Fantastic morning show this morning with the grapes over on SEI, but there's a ton happening on ETH. Ordinals, a lot of things to be covering. So excited. Oh yeah, also shout out to the Shrapnel fam. We got a story for you today. Choina, Cats Fanatic, Christian Jensen, Nifty Castle. We appreciate all of you guys for joining in here early. We just pressed live. We'll go again for about an hour. Hopefully we can get a nice little roundup. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Don't even say it, bro. Why
Yeah,
you just it's like you jinx it every time when you say this. I feel like the one time you don't take the time and waste the 10 to 15 to 20 seconds to try and say it, then we'll actually get out of here in an hour. But yes, shout out to the fam. Great to see Choina. Choina was there over and Say What too. It's awesome to see you because I know sometimes you're not able to make it with us live. So welcome.
Absolutely. Biggie Poppins still on vacation, living it up, but also degenning a little bit. How are you doing, sir? Oh, he's muted. Oh.
Professional. He forgot he's been in Mexico too long. He's had one too many margaritas.
Tell him.
One too many margs.
Do you ever miss your desktop the way you miss your bed?
Oh, dude,
I'm
yes,
getting
kind of.
I'm getting there. You know, laptops are great, but after a while, they fucking drive me nuts, man. I'm starting to miss my desktop, big monitor. I need my command station, sir. But no, man, OVOT fam, it's very good to be here with you again. I hope everybody's enjoying their Friday vibes. And yeah, let's get on to it, man. Can't wait.
Love it. Huda, the man with the plan, also with a very nice hairline. What's going on?
Believe it or not, no plan. Like none.
Same, man.
Yeah. Nothing going on, dude. I'm like, man, I'm getting tired of my funds being held hostage by the quantum cats. Like that just needs to happen already. That is holding back this whole NFT space right now. We talked about that, and like I feel very strongly that is holding like the broader market back to some degree. I want my monies back.
What about good things take time, Huda? You don't appreciate a little bit of that?
Well, I guess I do. I really do. And I do believe in what they're doing. And yesterday was the 1 year anniversary of them minting that 4 megabyte block on Bitcoin for the first time ever. That's what's so cool about that team. They're here for the culture. That's like a cool degen cultural moment. And they're looking to do the same with the quantum cat. So I'm here for it, man, but I'm definitely feeling it, you know?
All right, I definitely want to get a link to your latest update this morning. You also had like an outtakes last night, which was really dope.
I'm going to do those more.
Okay.
I'm going to do those a lot more.
Well, I will be tuning in. Gifted, no GM Web3, coming fresh out of the coffin. This man is going to be just hyped and hot. Let's go.
Fresh. Look at this fresh face. No, I'm over here trying to share out the show on the X right now. So take a moment, fam. Go on over there, do the thing with the thumbs. Again, doesn't cost you anything, but it really does make a big difference. And we see it, we appreciate it. It's how this whole network is being built with you together. So let's share that link. Let's get it out there. Let's get some friends in here and have a good time today on this very special Friday episode of NFT Live, where we say our verb, our chirb. I think that's how Huda said it. Our verb, our chirb. And also we say, thou shalt not speckle. That's another thing we say here. We say lick
I
the
told
like.
you to be fresh.
We say lick the like. We say thou shalt not speckle. And we say our verb, our chirb.
Can you let me do that as our outro from now on?
Yeah, of course.
Let's try it.
You auditioned and you got the part, Huda. You fucking nailed it yesterday. So yes, just remember, do your own research. We're not financial advisors, never were, never will be. It's your bag, baby. It's not our bag. So NFA. Okay, we said it. Thank you.
All right, a lot of stuff happening in the Web3 industry, and you know, some days more than others, we're relying a little bit on the hive mind that is our community, right? We've got a ton of folks in the chat here. DP, Choina, we know you're getting after it. Cats Fanatic, also just all around, just awesome degens here. Also, Yeah, I need to button up a little bit. Sarah Weinstock's in the house from, I believe. So a ton of people coming in here. So was it Moonbirds? It was definitely Moonbirds. I was gonna say
Yes,
Proof.
man.
I was gonna say Proof, but yeah, Moonbirds. Okay.
IP3.
So, yeah, I was gonna also say IP3. There you go. So yeah, big shout out to Sarah. Awesome to have you here on the show. All right, we're gonna get started here in just a moment. A couple quick local news pieces. We did have that Say What in the Morning show. Broke a lot of records here. Brando said he was going to do it. He has the Grapes NFT project about to launch here on the Say network. So we chatted a little bit. We had some conversations about where the Say network is. Of course, you guys know we've been leaning into that community more and more. But yeah, he was fantastic. A lot of similarities, honestly, between his kind of history growing a community over, multiple chains, right? They've had their community on ETH. Now they're doing something on Say. So I think there's some really cool stuff. Do you guys like what Brando had to say?
Man,
it was another perfect example of just hearing the builders talk just wins me over to the broader ecosystem. Man, Say's got some smart dudes, some really competent sounding, just really competent sounding people. It just makes me really bullish on everything happening there, man.
Yeah, I agree, man. Seeing somebody like that just take the grassroots approach, keep on winning, keep on delivering, keep on building community, and now coming over to Say, it's fantastic news. It's what makes me bullish. We've been saying it for a while, right, Q? It's the quality of the people that are coming over to Say as much as the quantity and the TVL and all the building going on. Quality, and yeah, this guy exemplifies it. It's the reason why I'm here.
I love that. Appreciate y'all joining, by the way, and actually giving some questions and having some good topics to discuss while we were live.
I feel like this Apes Strong Together / Grapes crew is like their own cabal. That's how I feel, which is, I think, good. I think that bodes well for the project. And yeah, they clearly. Brando is capable. I think that's a good word. Like they have some ideas. They know how to build in the space. And yeah, they're very amped up on Say network and the low gas fees and their ability to do maybe some more creative things there.
All right, I appreciate it. We're going to get into some Say updates, guys, for y'all at the back half of the show. Definitely want to be covering a majority of what's happening across maybe Ethereum, Solana, and a couple other pieces. Huda, you were mentioning Quantum Cats. Obviously, that's a big Bitcoin Ordinals story, but we're seeing a ton of conversations also around RSIC. Is there any updates or anything on that front that you're looking at from just kind of the 3,000 or 30,000 foot view?
I mean, RSIC is super interesting. I think that should tell you need to be watching out for runes. That's the next big thing to hit over on the Bitcoin ecosystem. And I think that launches at the date of the halving. So if you're not aware, that's the new, I guess, token standard for BRC20s, right? Hopefully BRC20s become a thing of the past, and they'll be replaced with runes. So people right now grinding out or farming runes with that RSIC token, it's really cool. And again, it just shows you the potential. Right now, the RSIC meta protocols are 0.08 Bitcoin. Absolutely bonkers, guys. I mean, for a free airdrop, that's now worth thousands. So you definitely need to be looking at that.
Wild.
It's crazy. And I think it's going to be airdrop season too over in Bitcoin. You got guys like Leonidas, who's actively working out his own type of RSIC, right? And he wants to make sure it's widely distributed, but that's also going to lead to runes. So again, just keep the name runes in mind. Know there's a protocol thing happening over on Bitcoin, and there's definitely going to be a lot of money around that.
All right, Node Monkey's sitting at 0.19 Bitcoin here, Frogs 0.17, and then Puppets 0.054. Gift, do you still like your Puppets entry here? Are you still on the Puppets train?
Absolutely. I mean, it's basically 2x from where I bought in.
Hell yeah.
I told you they were pulling back, and you should probably buy Q. They pulled back, and now they're pumping again. They're moving up.
I bought Saylong instead. I'm a big long guy.
Schlong. Oh man,
dude. As fellow dogs, you have to.
What a schlonger.
Facts. Yeah, we're gonna get into some not suitable for work topics once we hit the Say piece, because Kryptonite Finance is doing some weird shit too. All right. Anything left on the Ordinals front, guys? To me, again, Quantum Cats is something that people are waiting on. RSIC has been huge. If we have any under the radar stuff we want to talk about, please let me know.
I think the Elite Skulls are pretty dope. Did you check those out, Huda? 1337.
Not familiar at all.
Yeah, look them up. 1337. So these are like an OG like on-chain art project community. They started on Ethereum. They've done some really cool stuff. I think they've even done on base. They dropped some like bald Brian Armstrongs and stuff. And they had originally done like gold skulls over on Bitcoin Ordinals early in the year. And they just recently airdropped, these new collection that's also on Ordinals. It was free. You just had to earn the allow list spot. I think they're pretty dope. Were you able to find them, Q? Here, if not, let me. I should have fucking sent you the link a while ago. Here you go. Really cool community. And I think they're sub 10K too. So pretty cool.
Sub 10K.
Wow. To check out. Yeah. Really nice.
Like supply? Not sub 10K ordinal, right? Or inscription?
I think you want to check that. Like I said, I might be wrong.
Okay.
Well, it looks like the supply is
1300. It's one. It's 1300.
That's cool. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, I'll dive into those.
All right, I'm going to take us into some other topics here just in a second. You can see Bitcoin Ordinals again taking up a majority of the conversation when it comes to Crypto Slam, but there's a ton happening here. Dokyo is still taking a large percentage. This is probably the longest I've seen an alt chain project up at the top of Crypto Slam.
It's so impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Can we go like tap in on Dokyo a little bit and just look at it a little bit more? What's the exchange? The best exchange? Isn't it? There's like JPEG Joe's or something. There's Trader Joe's, and then there's an NFT. Isn't there an NFT marketplace? So like something Joe's.
I'm peeking here.
Yeah, because JPEGs. Maybe that's it. Yeah, I thought there was something like that. That might be the spot to go really dig into the collection.
Yeah.
Because it seems remarkable. I know that we've had some fudders come through and say like, oh, I don't know, don't trust the volume over on Avalanche. And Huda, you were like, I don't know what they're talking about. It seems pretty legit. But this project is an Avalanche PFP that has been in the top 5 for like a month in terms of 24-hour trading volume.
Yeah, dude, right now on the 30-day chart, they're number 4. Only PFP ahead of them is, well, you got Gas Hero and Polygon, CryptoPunks, and then Dokyo.
So what do we think is going on here? Is there a bunch of wash trading? Is it that there's nothing else in Avalanche that's really legit, and so everybody's just like having fun?
I think you're hitting on something. Is that when you have a single NFT project that it really stands itself out on a blockchain, especially when I don't even think Avalanche is at the point of SEI anymore. Like I think SEI, when you look at how many NFTs and what's sprouting up, Avalanche probably doesn't have as many collections, and it still has a lot of funds on the network. There's still a ton of liquidity there. Where does that go? And maybe it's because of it. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's just that.
Yeah, and that's part of why I started pointing it out initially. It was because it was surprising, but you're right. It's like the Mad Lads or the Bored Ape effect. When something starts to pull away, a lot of times it keeps pulling away, right?
Yep.
Steady's the next one.
It's the power law. Right. So the power law basically says, it's like kind of like the Pareto principle, except exponential, when it comes to like digital technology and winner take all types of situation. There's very few projects that basically are the monopolies. Right. So that project's kind of like a monopoly right now in Avalanche PFPs, as far as I can tell. And so I haven't gotten in, but like I don't know why. We've been sitting here talking about it. It's like this thing that we've been talking about and not doing anything about. But it seems like a good move.
It does. I want to see what their average sale price is, because that matters quite a bit. But you know what? When I did see those comments about not trusting the sales, of course I go dive in, right? Because I know we apply our wash trade algorithm to these just like we do to any blockchain. And there's no wash trades, man. I mean, if there are some, they're getting flagged properly. I'm seeing unique wallets and unique buyers, right? These are all unique individual people making these trades. And it's not the algorithm would pick up if they're going back and forth in the same wallets or touching multiple. You know what I mean? It's smart enough to detect that. These are legitimate sales. So floor price or average price right now around $1,600. To me, I don't know what that ecosystem can support, but that might feel like an opportunity. It just might. 16's not out of reach, right?
Not at all. Yeah, we'll jump into Avalanche here in a second too, because Shrapnel had some updates. We had some other pieces. So earlier in the week, I believe 2 days ago, Huda, you bought this Claire Silver Priest. It wasn't yesterday, was it? God forbid it was yesterday.
I feel like it was 2 days ago.
Okay, thank God.
Yeah.
Anyways,
right?
yeah, it looks like the floor price is a lava a little bit here on these CorpoReals by Claire. It looks like 1.4 on the floor price, sir.
There's just some artists you can, it's not even a gamble. They're kind of automatic, and Claire Silver is that. She has been that now for probably a year. That's why, to me, this was a very, very safe thing to mint. I'm like, at the very least, I think it holds its mint price, but the upside, the potential for it, it's unlike a lot of other collections. So you've got guys like, again, Cosmo and, that tier of collector talking about it, and they're buying multiple, right? And they're so damn influential. So I felt good about that mint here just a couple days later. That's playing out.
She's part of the NFT crypto art culture.
Yes,
is what you're saying. Like we were having fun yesterday on GM Web3, like talking about NFT culture. Is NFT culture a fad? Is it a joke? What even is NFT culture anyway? But like a lot of people throw around the word culture and don't even actually understand like what it is, like how to define it. And ultimately what it comes down to is like shared values and different things, artifacts, manifestations, beliefs. It's just shared things that you all kind of like aggregate around in a certain group or society or whatever it is, right? It's like what are the shared values and beliefs and things that you rally behind or that become sort of embedded what am I trying to say? Like touch points, right? Things that everybody can point to and appreciate and talk about and share together. And what do you all sort of believe in and get behind, right? Like all these things that we collect that everybody sort of resonates with together on the same frequency. This creates or is part of the culture. That's what the culture is. Claire has made herself part of it. She's built herself into it and has become part of it. And so when Huda says like she's just one of those artists, that's what it is. Like she is part of the culture in the fabric of it. And so it's hard to see why this project wouldn't do well, right?
Can I ask a question? It's almost like a reframed version of that question or that comment about the culture. Is she part of the like NFT cabal? To me, those aren't the same kind of statements, right?
Some of her collectors might be.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that is another reason why I kind of feel like this. It's the collectors that are maybe that cabal.
This is an interesting concept here where Gift was mentioning the Pareto principle, that with higher mint price, the likelihood of it paying off is almost higher.
Yes.
Right. And it's like the rich get richer a little bit
Power
concept.
law.
Yeah. Like the idea that people with a ton of funds are going to do better because they can access these mints.
Yeah, and people want to go where there's liquidity and where there's other winners, and they want to be with the sexy, expensive things. But there is an interesting symbiotic relationship between the cabal and the culture, right? Because the cabal, which I think there's multiple cabals, we're kind of just using this term
I know we
loosely.
said Friday was going to be a loose episode, but get to it. Come on.
Well, the point is that like they do play a big role in sort of gatekeeping or determining like what is the culture or who are the certain touch points or things that end up getting a lot of the attention and liquidity that then become embedded in the culture, right? So, the cabal plays an important role as sort of some kind of cultural gatekeeper to an extent. Do they control it all? No, there's certain things that are organic, but they have an outsized
we see that in every sector in crypto. We see that in media. We see that in media. There's projects that we're like,
that's why
why are they doing that? But anyways, Huda, what's up?
That's why the 80-20 and the power law exist.
Yeah. No, I was just adding on that group, that cabal. It's just that they're so influential. They influence the culture quite a bit. So agree with all Gif's points there. That was good.
All right, we're going to don't encourage this.
Don't encourage him.
Look at him. Last thought on Dokyo. We might move in here to a Shrapnel update here because there's some crossover. We love to hear that. But anyways, Dokyo's art. How do we feel? Because we know we love to talk.
We
about
don't
art
care about art here. Q, come on, don't do this. We don't care about art.
If I didn't care, I wouldn't be asking.
No. Come on. We're when it comes to PFPs, Q, we're in a post-art world. You were telling me this yourself. I am just remembering that we are in a post-art PFP world. It doesn't even matter, Q.
So you're taking my words of me saying that you live in a black and white world. If a project doesn't have good art, then I can't look at it any further. And you're going into that even when I mean it's part of a feature set of some of these projects, especially when they have to do with projects not related to art and more related to the financialization or the DeFi side. That's a feature. So when it comes to a feature here, guys, do we like the art? It's not going to stop me from going deeper here, fellas, if you say no.
No, I think it's cool.
I mean, yeah, it's not ugly. It's not bad.
This art is qualitatively better than almost everything on Say right now.
Yeah, I think this, like the detail that you're seeing on some of these. Oh, can't fetch that image. The detail that you're seeing, like the shading and the quality, I think is pretty good.
Highlights. The traits are interesting.
I think this is pretty good.
That mask is pretty cool. That mask is
good looking collection. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good looking collection. All right, we can then dive a little bit deeper now. We can get through the gate. If your project doesn't have good art, we're not going to look at it at all. At all. Hard, fast line here that we hold, especially you, Animoca Brands. You, God damn you. If you just made a cool PFP, we'd all be sitting here fucking loaded.
Yacht, close your ears.
Jesus. They know what they did. They know what they did. All right. Looking at the Ethereum collections. Oh, that's Funks.
They tested you, Q. They tested you.
They did,
they
and
needed
I failed.
To see if you were,
I failed terribly.
If you were penitent, but you faded them because of the art. And so you did not get to get.
I guess that's by association. Sproto Gremlins up 12%. Pixelmon up 10% off some interesting news. CyberKongz making a move here. Maybe are these the babies or VX? What's going for 0.82?
0.82. Well, that's actually Genesis, which means they're 0.82 is babies. I'm sorry. Yes,
it's the babies.
I was gonna say Genesis is at 0.82. What happened?
I think they're all on the same contract or whatever in Blur, so it's kind of confusing. I'm pretty sure they're grouped together.
They might have they've done a good job splitting them where they can, but you know what that is? That's just the Ronin effect. The price of Ron is over $3 now, and people are realizing that ecosystem's going to be a monster. And the Kongs are now getting smart about messaging. They're like, we said this yesterday. I think they didn't message properly as just we're the CyberKongz and here's our PFP. It needs to be, we are the PFP for Ron. We are that. We are the Dokyo of Avalanche, right? We are that of Ron. And I think they started pushing that message.
Talk about other things that we've been talking about for a while now that have not done anything about.
Why haven't you bought Ron?
Ron's just said
like that was such a good long
part of it. Part of it's just
like
part of it is just I don't have enough liquidity. Like I'm already so many different places
in the puppets.
But guys,
dude, those puppets are doing great. I love the puppets, and that's part of my Bitcoin allocation, which I'm not fucking with because
you got different baskets. Got it.
Yeah.
Pull up the market cap of Ron compared to something like Avalanche and it's just some other chains. Some comps here for you. Ron's got room to really fly.
Yeah, it looks like it just in the past day it's done pretty well. What were you looking at? Market cap, or were you looking at liquidity?
Market cap. Yeah, just market cap.
All right, I'm taking a look here at the last 3 months. So 3 months ago, and we were talking about this. Yeah, mostly, I'll give Kagi his due here. Kagi's been talking about this and has been because this is related to the Axie Infinity ecosystem. And the narrative here is that Axie Infinity has a somewhat of a stranglehold on the Southeast Asia market. When it comes to what's happening over there, they're super tied into what Gabby's done with YGG. Animoca is super tied in. Like, this was a pretty simple play. The problem is it's just like an up and to the right token, right? Like, a lot of people chasing, I want a freaking God candle that's like a 2x or something. This was like, I feel good and can sleep at night leaving it in Ron. Because, dude, it was always going to be the case, and it still is. This thing is at $3. NFA, this is going to go to fucking, like Huda's saying, 10, maybe more.
Yeah. Most people think 10. We've been talking about it here at least since it was at $1. It was sitting around $1 when we were talking about it.
So let me say this too, a couple things. So a lot of the action just from the past, 24, 48 hours is the announcement it's going to be listed on Coinbase finally. So that's causing it to grow quite a bit here. Huge. That's so huge. But your play really is in the tokens that are part of those other ecosystems like Pixel, like Banana guys. Holy shit. Banana at one point had $100 price, right? $100 for Banana, which is astronomical. Would never see that again, I don't think. But that's a deflationary supply token. And the CyberKongz are building, and man, I want a big bag of Banana.
This is the worst chart, and as much as I love Banana, like objectively, this is the worst chart that I have ever seen.
Yes, man, it's brutal. You know what sucks too? They had, you guys know, like Nate, what's his name? Nate, super degen trader, used to be very vocal a year ago.
Nate Chastain's in jail. Not that Nate.
Oh God, I gotta look it up. But anyway,
different Nate.
Yeah,
different Nate.
Nate Rivers. Yeah.
Mark McKenzie coming through with some great comments here saying Biggie Poppins looking like that MFers enjoying life. Yes. He's saying the art was mid. I don't know if he's talking about Dokyo, but then saying CyberKongz pissed off too many blue chips on ETH. They made no friends and many enemies. Huda.
I would love to hear more about that. I'm just, like, genuinely curious.
I don't know if I felt that they never connected to a lot of the connections. I always felt they were a separate ecosystem away from a lot of these others, but I don't know why.
Well, so there initially, and I can tell you this, very early on, I know there were some not good feelings between them and the Bored Apes, because the Kongs felt that they were the first to do
they were very vocal about that.
But you don't own that, and I think that was the wrong approach. But what's interesting is there's a lot of builders out there. Frank from DOXXED is a great example, that say Kongs was the one that inspired them to do their project. Their Genesis Hall is full of some of the biggest builders across this entire ecosystem. So they're well loved behind the scenes, but there was something that alienated them from other communities for sure.
You would feel that. I mean, we would rank projects on Rate My Bags, and we had Kongs community members, Hash Rhymes being one of them, just a long time community member for us. And I think Hash was just like, I'm tired. I'm tired of defending Kongs, because it just felt like they weren't as connected to what we were talking about, just being primarily an ETH in that like main kind of group that you're talking about, Huda.
And I know for a while they wrestled with the why too. Like, part of this is like, what is that special ingredient? And I know they question, like, what is it we're not doing right that has kept us like feeling like an outsider? And I wonder if they've cracked it or never had, and that's part of why they moved to Ron.
Fantastic move by going to Ron too. Oh my goodness. There's a lot of collections that right now should be thinking just like that. Abagachi, I'm looking at you. I'm sorry, Choina. I'm sorry, but Abagachi and a couple, you should be thinking about where you want to move, because Polygon's just not getting it done.
Dude, Henry was on a Spaces yesterday, the day before, and in that Spaces, he said, you guys wouldn't believe the project founders that I hear from, like, on a daily basis now, that are asking him to connect, for him to connect them with Ronin, with Sky Mavis. They got a lot more coming, I believe. Like, projects migrating over.
Yeah, this is Alpha. Remember this show when we're looking back and remembering that we didn't buy Ron again and faded it at $3 when it's at $8, $9, $10. So just
remember NFA, DYOR. NFA,
yes, DYOR. That too.
I just have to highlight it again since we're talking.
Stamina here, a community member, is saying post-pump consolidation closing, liquid floor up bigly to 9 ETH. So that's going to be on the Genesis. Only one left, sub 12. Banana knocking on $1. Am I looking at the wrong chart there, Huda, on Banana?
No, that was probably the right chart. I mean, if you saw it at $1, dude, what was interesting is when they launched their their VX, or when they, I think it's when they launched VX. You know, it was a sell the news event, but it was so manipulated. There were so many guys who must have had insider info about some announcements that as soon as whatever it was came out, dude, the whole thing dumped. It was awful. It was really, really bad. And it's because you had some big whales that were really gaming this up.
You hate to see that. Yeah, you can see the volume. So over the past year, if you like zoom in, you know, quote unquote, zoom in, the volume is 100% higher, like a lot more. Like if you're looking at a percentage base, it's way higher than it was even a year ago at this time. 3 months, you could even zoom out. But yeah, the max chart looks a little bit rough, but that might be some alfalfa there.
You could see it right where it fell off there too in the chart. It was absolutely brutal. But yeah, I mean, I guess the speculation is there's 2 games coming out because they're bringing over their play and collect over to Ronin, right? So they've got an existing game, but then also they're building something for Genkai, it seems. So maybe a lot of utility for that coin.
So Zoids was another one that I was pointing out on the Ron blockchain, just because I loved that IP growing up. I grew up in Hawaii, and like the Zoids was something that I don't think touched that much of like the more mainland youth. I don't know if you guys know much about Zoids, but it was like a really big in Hawaii and Asia. All right, Troy is saying nope, so definitely just wants to stick over there on Polygon. You guys are too good of a project. The builders over there are too good to be held back by the blockchain that they're on, man. It's just that's my take, and I'll die on that hill for Avagachi, and I know that sounds like it sucks, but whatever. I want to see you guys do extremely well. Okay, I'm going to transition real quick. We're going to try to stay in say for like, look, 5 to 7 minutes. We already have a full fucking show dedicated to this stuff, so I don't want to have NFT Live be dedicated to it as well. But Anthony Pompliano has had this show. It's probably the longest running show in crypto. I don't know exactly if it's changed brands over time and all that stuff, but him as a host have been interviewing people as long as I can remember. And he has Jay here from the co-founder of SEI, essentially. This is actually the better quote, which really got people's kind of brain ticking on what projects he was mentioning. So let me try to turn off the music here and play this quote. Get ready to be more bullish,
for
guys.
SEI, there's going to be a ton of big name projects that are going to be announced soon. Like these are OG Ethereum projects that are coming on to SEI. So I think that's like, it's going to be just super fun to announce that.
So I don't know if you heard that. I couldn't turn up the volume too much. It's tough to do so. But he basically said,
like these are OG Ethereum projects that are coming on to SEI.
So OG Ethereum projects. He also had a full interview with him talking about parallelization and stuff like that. So yeah, big shout out to our fearless leader Jay over there, who's leading up the SEI labs and just SEI blockchain in general. Guys, what are your thoughts there? OG projects.
Yeah, I can't even fathom who that would be. I'm curious. Will SEI be treated something like Arbitrum for people to build out their gaming ecosystem? Sort of like what Pixel Vault did, right? You can't really run their whole battle plan on Ethereum mainnet. Are some going to go use SEI as where they do their building, right? Although it not being an L2 maybe kills that. So I don't know. I can't even guess at what projects he's talking about. OG projects.
I mean, we were talking, I don't know if he's putting grapes in that category, right? Apes Together Strong is an OG-esque project over there on Ethereum. We were talking with Brando today. I don't know if he's putting them into that category because the mind. Oh my God!
Wait, what?
If Frank fucking does that,
no.
It's like I'm gonna go do an update right now.
And Doodles, because Doodles.
That's where your mind goes, though, right?
Doodles tried
like
to go
OG.
They tried to go to Flow, and it didn't work out. I don't think.
Are they not there? Again, I thought they were very active there.
Oh, are they? Okay, I don't know, dude. They marketed the shit out of Doodles too, moving to Flow, and then I literally never heard about it again.
Yeah, weird.
So I don't know, but Doodles at least has been one of those other.
What's your strongest community that you're in, Gifted?
Right now, I just want to say like Dobbs and Sands and fucking. I don't know, man. I mean, I'm still technically part of the Yuga ecosystem because I still hold some Yuga assets.
All right.
That's obviously will always be like an OG ETH community that has a lot of influence. I don't know, man. I'm trying to think of like other ones that I really fuck with the community. There's not that many, man. I mean, Deadfellas does have a pretty strong community.
Have you felt that over time you feel less connected with the communities, maybe less desire to actually be in them?
So to be honest, man, other than like very certain specific ones, I was always much more focused on building our own community than like building other people's, right? So like a lot of people they really like to just sort of jump into other things and participate in that way. I came into the space as a builder and wanting to create cool things. So I've always been more focused on like how do we sort of generate our own community. And so that's probably held me back from investing a whole lot of time in building other people's. So yeah, I don't know.
Fair.
And also Discord in general, I've had kind of a love-hate relationship with, which I feel like, unfortunately, that's where a lot of the communities
Discord bias hold you back, Gifted.
Yeah, man. Dude, I admit it. Like you're saying it like it's a surprise or something. I've been the first one to talk about it forever.
It's trying to say anyone here,
right? To some of these tools and the way that we interact with each other with these online communities. But I can totally understand how it can also be taxing, right? Like it's overwhelming, like all
it is.
Telegram and Discord and then Twitter, and you're trying to fucking like, it's like putting all of these different communities into a room, and all of them want to be the most popular person in town.
They want your attention.
So obviously, like there's these tribalisms that develop. Some of them get exhausted sooner than others. Others are fucking bullies, what have you. You have like this kind of kindergarten fucking psychology just swirling around like with euphoria and full of fucking money. To me, like that's why the IRL is so important, right? And that's why like when you do find a community that you jive with, it is so important to embrace, because like there's few of them. They're like little silos, like, right? Like I feel that with our community as well, right? Like in our Telegram group, it's like, and they're usually smaller and a little more intimate. You know the people that you're talking
that
with.
Is a great.
When I see sorry, I'm on a rant now. Like when I see one of the things that I'm so enthusiastic about is the fact that like you have all these high quality people like Brando and others coming in to build, but it's such fertile and like early times that everybody's just kind of collaborating and cooperating, you know, like we might take the piss out of each other, but you still haven't developed that type of warfare that you see over on like say Ordinals or Ethereum or other places, like we were first or this or that. It's a curious thing, man.
So I'll name a couple others. I'm technically part of the Moonbirds community too, because
I'm talking about communities that you're in, not technically, not anything like that. I'm talking about in. You're talking with these people on the daily. You're talking with these people on the weekly. That was where the question was headed.
I mean, Oni Force, I've always been part of in some different ways and different levels of engagement. And you know, I'm also now pretty excited about what Roger's doing with 24 Hours of Art. So those are a couple, but honestly, dude, the Nifty Castle /LAD/Web3 network has been like the community that I've been the most engaged with consistently, that I care the most about, is trying to grow this thing, you know, with y'all.
It's tough to I mean, it's 100% tough to balance.
And it's
all
an
that.
honor,
you know, we're doing it. Yeah. And look, I'll lean in there to the folks that spend time with us each day. Like Gifted is saying, like, being here is part of the time that you're spending that you could be somewhere else. And we totally get that. So I appreciate you guys showing up daily, man. And we're trying to grow this network to a certain size, but it does feel like even in these like smaller environments, the signal is separated from the noise. And I will say that we've seen that happen on SEI. And my favorite Discord is Cosmarks. And Cosmarks has like 130 members in it. And I really enjoy the conversations that happen in there. It's hard in these other Discords that get to a certain size to keep up with what the fuck's going on.
Dude, it's the small ones that I like. Yeah, I've grown detached from the big ones. The smaller ones are where I bonded with people and I've learned the most from and actually gotten some of the most opportunities from. So yeah, there's something to that.
And this is the question for SEI too, because I think so there's like definite and indefinite optimism and definite and indefinite pessimism, just in terms of like how you look at and operate in the world. And you can literally feel like what everybody's talking about right now, this energy, the opportunity, the vibes, like whatever people want to call it on SEI, there's a definite optimism, right? People are building with clear plans for the future and see a brighter future there. That is a definite optimism. And that's what you're feeling there right now. And again, like Biggie was just saying, part of that is just because of the specific time and place and the specific nature of where it's at right now. So the question is going to be, how can we move it forward in a way that maintains that optimism long term? It's a very difficult thing to do. And I think, unfortunately, what you see has happened through the bear is that, at least on Ethereum, I think a lot of that optimism has been lost. I think through, scams, letting in certain people, supporting certain projects, or whatever it is, or certain behaviors at large, whatever it is. There's a lot of different reasons, but I feel like a lot of that optimism is gone right now, and people are not sure what is that brighter future.
It's definitely not honeymoon anymore.
It's either indefinite optimism or it's pessimism right now on Ethereum, and you just get that, and everybody's searching out. Solana is maybe more optimistic.
I'm sorry, but this is like very short-sighted of most people, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just saying,
when you zoom out into the macro and you just see the prospects for crypto in this next bull cycle, I don't care if you're in fucking Cardano, you're gonna fucking see number go up and you're gonna be doing well. Okay, so like, be happy, your time will come. Like, part of this game, I think, is patience, and I think what we're talking about here is more like community. And I can't help but be optimistic. Like, when I hear Brando speak, like in the spaces, and tell us his story of how he's had to grind it out, like, I much prefer to have that as my narrative. I don't want to take the elevator up. I want to have a story to go along with my fucking journey. So I feel like that's kind of like where we're at right now, both in this particular community in our network and with SEI, which is doubly enjoyable.
I'm going to hit the comments really quick. Nox Darkness saying, my strongest community is you guys. Troy is saying, true dat gif, always been a lads. Nick Sorb saying, this community doesn't count, though. You don't have a PFP with a minimum floor price of 10 ETH. That's fair.
Wow.
Maybe we'll change that one day. Maybe we will. Sarah coming through saying, builders being onboarded onto SEI through ecosystem marketing and funding make a big difference to attract people to that chain. Yeah, fantastic comment there. Prado saying, not the communities where you say GM every day. That's true. I think that's what SEI Discords right now have to figure out, is how do we get people that are saying things of quality, and I'm not saying the GM is not a thing of quality, but if it's just that, it's not.
Yeah, it's so hard. It's so hard to scale quality engagement, which, again, this was my thesis for Reach, which has kind of gone quiet. I don't know if they're building there. It's I haven't seen as many announcements, but it's so difficult to scale and maintain quality. And when you're at a smaller size and you've got a bunch of like really eager, awesome people coming in early adopters and believers, you've got a lot of quality. You've got that. But as you get more people, how do you maintain more of that? You ultimately dilute and lose some of that. And this happens at the micro scale in specific project communities. It happens at the macro scale on the blockchain. And that's kind of what I'm getting to. I hope that with SEI, that the way that it's being built right now will lead to it maintaining certain qualities long term. And it doesn't just become sort of, the next whatever.
All right. We're going to jump into some of this talk. It's going to be related. I see all the GMs in chat. Thank you guys for dropping those.
Hey, we still appreciate it,
Oh, wow. We didn't get the, it looks like something with your mic, like we didn't get the quality degrade.
It's a good day. Good mic day.
Let's
I got a good mic day. Oh, shit.
Retro Diamond drop claims are live. It's been a huge week for the Solana community, and now Emmy wants to shower OGs with diamonds. Claim your earned diamonds and double your claim amount through quests. Dropping that in chat for y'all right now. It looks like we do get some diamonds, some retroactive for the OGs. I don't know the exact requirements for this diamond drop, but if you're part of that, congratulations.
Look like old purchases and royalties paid. So kind of simple. Okay. Yeah.
Hopefully you have enough points.
I love those points, Biggie. I know it.
Let's get the points. All right. Real quick. What's up?
Dude, I like whatever Magic Eden is doing with those perks through their wallet. That I'm assuming that's what the diamonds will be used for. I think that's great utility. I love that.
Yeah, I don't need to stay up here and die on a hill for Magic Eden. Like, they understand the space. So there's, yeah, I think every time it just feels like they get it. Yep. They release good product features. All right. I said we would be in Say. We kind of were touching around the subject. Pallet Exchange was apparently DDoSed this morning. They had a huge disclaimer at the top of the website that said, hey, we're experiencing some server issues. This is from within the Saiyans Discord in the Bald DAO section here. Pallet, some other communities are blaming Saiyans for this DDoS attack. Obviously Saiyans being behind Market Exchange, which is going to be that Tensor/Blur marketplace for the Say ecosystem. No updates. They said TBD was going to be today. They said this, we're not giving you a time, but we are launching this bitch tomorrow. And so that was the post yesterday, and we still have yet to see a launch.
I mean, look, just saying like we depend on them when you're launching your literally like competing marketplace, I don't buy that necessarily, because there's clearly a conflict of interest. So look, I'm a Saiyan. I got multiple Saiyans.
What were you saying?
Yeah,
just saying.
Well, all I'm saying is that like just being like, oh, but we depend on pallets. Like I'm just saying, I wouldn't say that fully justifies or explains why it wouldn't be them, because like who else would it be? You know, like the clear motivation for why Saiyans would want to be like targeting.
Here's your guy,
right
Saiyans. Here's your guy.
I've got Saiyans. I love Saiyans and I love competition, but just saying that you rely on pallet when you're literally launching your own marketplace to compete with them doesn't really.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just saying I don't understand how that's like proof that it wouldn't be.
Hopefully you do not have a bald Saiyan, sir, because you're not getting in anymore.
Whatever. It's not even a real DAO, is it? Is it a real DAO?
Wow, dude. Okay,
no, is it?
I'm gonna remove this guy from the stage just in solidarity with the bald Saints. Good lord, sir.
Is it a real DAO?
What is a real DAO? When does something become a real DAO?
Exactly. Does that word even mean anything?
All right, now you're just attacking the whole space. So you can be up here, but don't. I'm not attacking.
Somebody's got to fucking be real up here.
I had an answer for that. It's when you spin up a multi-sig and you fund it.
Okay.
Now you joined at the hip.
Okay,
so
there needs to be funds involved. There definitely is no like clear
skin
business
in the game.
but there
Skin
needs
in
to
the
be
game,
funds,
yeah.
because you
business
can spin up
structure.
a Discord and start
It
making
could be a
little
JPEG.
votes.
Okay, it can be a JPEG, but there has to be something where you're all participating.
So there needs to be a treasury for a DAO, Biggie, is what you're saying to me right now. Okay, all right, maybe.
Hey guys. Just because I know we're probably going to move from Say, right? I'm assuming.
Last thing.
I want to talk about outlines, just because you guys mentioned it during our spaces earlier, right? My feelings on the collection. Is now the time?
Hell yeah, man. I'm sorry about that rug, by the way, that we couldn't bring you up. Go ahead.
Dude, and it threw errors at me when I would try. Okay, so I guess your take is that it's the first quality, like high quality art collection, and that would be enough for it to maybe, I don't know. I guess
narrative was the art was a focus, right? The artist had worked with specific different art, like actual like hip hop artists. He has a history. Like it wasn't just a pseudonymous or anonymous artist that was putting this together. The focus was on the specific guy creating the collection.
Got it.
Yeah, it's an artist-driven PFP collection.
Do you know who that artist is? Because that's a part that I missed. I thought I heard it early on before I minted, and I haven't heard it since. Who did he do work for?
Kid Cudi and The Weeknd, I believe.
The Disciples, Dipset.
Okay, that changes a lot, honestly, because my thinking is just art, just pure art, which it is great art. I look at on OpenSea or on Ethereum, I should say, something like hash masks. Or something earlier, like an earlier historic art project, like Dadass, Creeps and Weirdos. Like the art alone doesn't do it, but this is different. When it's an artist who has a nice catalog of work, that does change the story a bit for me.
Yeah, this is their style. They have this iconic style. So again, that's why I was kind of confused. Why
are we calling this guy iconic?
Signature style.
I am saying that he has his own style that is his own signature that I think is very iconic. So whether or not it's reached a broad enough audience to call, like a lot of people would call it an iconic style yet, I don't know. But when I look at something and call it iconic, I'm more looking for certain values and traits and qualities of that. And I think if you look at the type of art and how different it is, like it has a very specific style that's very unique and differentiated from everything else that's on that platform and almost anything else in PFPs. Like, go try and find that style in PFPs. You're not going to find anything like it. So to me, that is iconic.
Yeah. Okay.
And also the way that it scales and it stands out is amazing. Like it's a very interesting style that's visually stunning and stands out from everything else.
So Huda, Huda, finish up your take here on outlines then.
Yeah, I like the narrative a whole heck of a lot more now. So I'm with you guys, especially at this price point. You know, what is it? 80 safe floor, which is probably $60.
Oh shit, they're down to 80, bro.
Yeah,
I'm gonna pick some up right fucking now.
$50. And with the burn coming, yeah, I'm with you guys though.
All right, I got two things that I want to finish out on here relatively quickly. I thought I had that tweet pulled up, but let me pull that up here. All right, in the meantime, while I have the tweet, there were two topics. So the other topic, Biggie Poppins, I'm going to rely on you. What the heck's going on here?
Schlong.
Look, I don't know.
Look.
Oh, I have a clue.
Anytime you got to start a statement with look.
Look. That's the. I'll come back to you, Biggie Poppins. The intern is probably saying the same thing. Kryptonite CEO probably is getting all. I mean, maybe they like it, maybe they don't. Maybe this came from the top, but it's coming on something. It's February 3rd that we're getting apparently a new NFT from Kryptonite. This is the primary liquid staking platform on Say that I'm using. So interesting stuff to see that's coming out on the 3rd, which is tomorrow. So price of 100 Say. Yeah, it's coming out. Make sure you close your eyes. I could not believe I read this in the morning. So yeah, that was a verbiage attack.
I just picked up another outline.
It's a fun place. Who dares say our space is juvenile? Come on, it's a serious talk here. It's
all
the
right,
most
look.
liquid staking platform, right? Right, Q?
Look, Biggie Poppins. Look. What is happening here with this Say Long?
NFT culture is juvenile, guys. Come on,
dude. Look, I'm just saying. I'm longing slong.
You are the original. Yeah, you are the original long schlong. Long schlong silver over here.
This you can see we're being degraded here on a Friday.
Yes. Thank goodness it's Friday. It's a meme coin, right? On Say. I didn't name it. It just came out that way. Slong.
What a fantastic breakdown by Biggie Poppins. Can we give him a clap up on stage? Can my fellow co-host give him a clap? GIF with the slow clap. Okay, I like that. Thank you, Huda, for protecting Biggie Poppins here. All right, Slong. It might be the meme coin of our network. Who knows? We don't even know what we want to do here.
Schlong with Slong. Fam.
But
whip out your schlongs in the chat.
For those of you wondering what's actually happening, this is a meme coin. It just went live on Astroport Finance. Again, do your own research. This is like the most degen ape shit that you'll ever get in. So just know that up front. But we, have been in their community for a little while and all that stuff. Wow, I wish I could cut this segment out of the show now. Huda, what's up, dude?
I don't even remember. I don't. Oh no, I do. Do we know the founder or the founder of Say or whatever? Do we know? Does he have a dog? Right, because that's what we're really needing, right?
Yeah, he's got a schlong.
Yikes!
Slongy.
All right. No, actually, I don't know. We should text Jay. We should literally hit up Jay and be like, "Do you have a pet?" Because goddamn, we need to get on that.
Then we launched the token.
I cannot confirm or deny that up on stage. All of this has been recorded. God damn it.
Look, we incriminate ourselves every day up here. It's just another fucking day as far as I'm concerned. Whip out your schlongs in the chat. All right.
All right. Nick Swerve is saying it's not
This
a
is
real
gonna be an
DAO.
ongoing thing. I can see.
Yeah.
Schlong it.
Swerve is saying it's a real DAO after it tricks the community into donating/minting some random secondary collection for 7+ figures. I'm already saying, does Huda use a straightener in the back? Definitely. Sarah's loving these comments up here. And as Nick finally saying, no need to explain a damn thing. That's gonna be the thing on this network from now on. Look. That's all you got to say. Look.
Look.
And then we'll
I don't
move
need
on.
to explain a damn thing.
Yeah.
All right, we're still waiting for market exchange. The last question I have for you, fine folks up here, and drop these in the chat as well. We'd love to hear an answer. Of these features, which one are you looking forward to the most? Mateo saying these are going to be added to the market exchange when it goes live. Sweet floor, activity, leaderboard, dark mode, search by trait, price history. Obviously, like Ronin the Collector hitting the chat, our Telegram saying dark mode by far. But go ahead, fellas.
Darkness.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I've never been like a floor sweeper, but some of those PFP, some of them are so darn cheap, I might do it just to try it, right? Just to play around, and maybe some of those little projects get a little pump out of it. So maybe that.
Dude, and the activity tab, I can only imagine it's a lot more feature rich than what we were getting from Palette. So I'm really excited to explore that portion of it, because you can get a lot of insight eventually, right? Like once we start tracking certain people, certain wallets, let's just say, you can get a lot of insight from that.
All right, great takes there. I'm Arsenal. You didn't have to do that. Now we're going to hear about Rabby Wallet for the remainder of the show. All right, guys, I'm moving us into some other topics. I had a pretty... I don't know if I want to transition to this yet. Do you guys have any other takes? There's a
Well, I like that Marty's literally over here ginning up our own community sub DAO here. The Team FUD.
Did you say jitting?
Ginning it up. You never
ginning.
heard that saying? Ginning it. Isn't that a thing? I don't know. Look, he's
McFly
creating the first Web3 network sub DAO. The Team FUD over here.
We'll remember that. All right, real quick, I'm going to fly through some stories, maybe attempt to get us back on track. If you appreciated the effort we put into these Friday shows, clearly, then please leave a like, leave a repost. If you're watching over on X, if you're watching on YouTube, either now or afterwards, you guys are fantastic hearts like Biggie's doing.
Goated.
All right, Oni Force is giving me, I'm not even going to say it live. We've done enough NSFW terms here on the show, but Oni Force with another teaser. From the shadows we've watched and endured while you thrived in the light untouched. Prepare as we bring forth the truth you ignored. This is an example, again, we've been following Oni Force's move towards Ordinals and having a collection over there. We do have the total supply, 3,333. I mean, is this related? Pretty much everything they've been releasing on the promo side has been related to that, but you really can't tell because all of this is just an extreme tease at this point.
I think it is. I think they're in sixth gear right now, I think, or maybe first gear.
Can we go back real quick? Yeah, I agree with Huda. Can we go back to yes, wait. The Bobby San and his jacket. Go down just a little bit where he's got the jacket. That click in. Can you zoom in on his jacket sleeve?
It says 10K TF.
Right under it. Can you see what's under it?
A coffin.
There's a fucking coffin on my man's jacket.
Oh,
that's
shit.
Sick. That's respect, bro. That's actually really fucking sick. So shout out Bobby San.
Wow.
Damn. Is that like the first, like, it's not a complete derivative, but it's like the first branding we've seen outside? Yeah, integration. Yeah. There you go.
I think so. I don't know. I can't think of any others. So fucking respect, Bobby San.
All right, so Oni's still kind of, again, teasing this out. They put out a more kind of active trailer here, I guess, kind of a conversation happening. Just a bunch of teasers. Any last thoughts here on the Oni and Ordinals move and what they've been teasing out?
It has potential to be a big deal. I think they're hyping it a lot. I'm pretty sure the artwork's going to be phenomenal. And DP is here to set us all straight. Team FUD now represented.
Oh wow, you're already part of that DAO?
Yeah, it's
DP
Jarvis and Marty McFly are the founding members of the Team FUD DAO.
Got it. Happy to have you, sir. How are you doing today on this fine Friday, Dob Day?
Hey, man, I'm doing well, man. I just wanted to hop in and say what's up to the family. You know, I see y'all in here having fun. I got off of a meeting early, so you know, I had time to hop in and get with the shenanigans.
What are you cooking up?
Oh,
What am I cooking up?
Yeah, what meeting are you having? What are you cooking up on behind the scenes, DP?
Man, this was some work shit. But what I'm cooking up, you need to. It's look. We have some things coming. Me and my boy Biggie Poppins up there. You know, we're working on a few things for you all.
Interesting. Biggie's not filled us in on shit.
Biggie hasn't been telling us anything.
Sir, it's not a meme.
Look. Look. All right. Happy to have you, bro. Definitely, if you got anything you want to hop in here and talk about that we've kind of hit on or will hit on here.
Look, man, I'm starting to feel. Today I've been feeling some anxiety, man. I feel like I'm just missing out on shit, and I don't even think I'm missing out on anything. But I'm just getting that feeling, like I don't know. It's been eventful, but it's been slow at the same time around here. I haven't done any airdrop farming in about 4 days, and I keep seeing people talk about different airdrops that are happening. I missed out on juke. I didn't get any fucking juke. I'm broke right now when it comes to I'm liquidity poor when it comes to airdrop money. You know, I should be good with Eigenlayer, but I got to figure out how to keep up with all this shit, man. There's too much going on.
Speaking of which, they're opening up their vaults again to deposit it soon, right? I
thought they did that on the 29th, but it might still be open. You all might still have time.
I just picked up another outline, so
are you gonna get a physical copy?
No, I got plenty of physical art right now that I haven't even hung on my walls.
DP, what do you think about the art? Like, you seem to like neon, since your background is neon. This is neon.
Yeah, so you mean with outlines? I picked up an outline. I like them. I like them. I think you know what I'm excited for, baby. I'm excited for it for Alive. I need me one of those Alive NFTs. But no, for outlines, I think it's creative. You know, I like the fact that it's different because I know you all were talking about PFPs earlier, and you know, the only thing is, man, I just feel like a lot of people are doing just the same thing, man. It's a lot of, you know, how many forward-facing, you know, anime arts, how many anime PFPs can we have? How many, you know, little monkeys and apes and shit and penguins and whales and all kind of animal kingdom animals. You know what I haven't seen? I haven't seen anybody do any real good
capybaras,
cat PFPs. No, like lions and tigers and shit like that. It may be some meta.
Wow.
Those are cool.
No cat PFPs.
The Cappys are cool. The Cappys are cool.
The Cappys are cool.
The Cappys are cool. We need some predators for the Cappys though. We need like some, you know, something that goes around and eats.
It's almost like that Pudgy penguin effect. Like I would classify this as like everybody's seeing the success of Pudgies and they're saying we need to make the cutest thing imaginable. And then maybe one day, like people will be like, "Oh, that's super cute," and buy one. And it feels like the Pudgy effect.
Is that really what we do? Like we were talking about NFT culture. Is that really what we do as a culture?
No.
Are we really cute around here? Or are we just DJing and shit?
Yes. No. So this is. Dude, I've been talking about this. This is.
But that's the lure.
Look,
that's the bait, you know.
Look,
to lure them in, and then you switch on.
Wait, hold on, because Super Arsenal and Sarah, Lazy Lions is you right, but I'm talking about something a little more vicious than the Lazy Lion.
You're not scared of a lazy lion?
Not at all.
Fair.
I still got my Lazy Lion.
I'm trying to find one.
What, a lazy lion? They're not very intimidating.
You're not scared of this?
Look at it.
This doesn't breathe fear into your
like
very soul.
That looks like a freaky lion.
Yeah.
A high freaky lion.
Looks like he's ready to have
Simmons.
Looks like he's ready for a kryptonite NFT. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, mouth open. Jesus,
that's a furry.
Yeah.
Look.
All right, here we go. Here we go. All right,
Schlong.
real quick, I want to quickly touch on our friends from Shrapnel. Shout out to Saigo over there and team building an awesome FPS and extraction shooter. But look, we have a crossover effect. Machine Gun Cappy debut. Happy to announce our Battlefield partnership with Play Shrapnel. So Cappys hasn't launched yet. Cappys has not launched yet, and is, to my knowledge, one of the first collections that's done a cross-chain promotion. Clearly, that's a pretty big news. And then Shrapnel also on February 8th is launching their first kind of tournament, right? So they've got the first STX event begins on February 8th, concludes on the 10th. There's going to be $100,000 in Shrap rewards there. You can see based on where you place, you're going to be getting obviously a little bit different reward. So this is going to be for extraction pack owners as well. So yeah, Shrapnel on the move here. The GameFi narrative seems to have cooled off just a little bit. I say just a little bit. It's clearly still thick, but
real quick, can you pull that picture up of that Cappy again with the machine gun? See, that's what I'm. See, I like this. You know what I'm saying? Little homicidal guinea pigs. They should lean into that more. That's the type of shit we missing.
Yeah.
That's the concrete bad fur day, man.
Cute, exactly. Cute with an edge does work. You can't have just one or the other. That's
look at this partner over there in the corner of the screen at the bottom corner.
Special sauce right there is
Sarah
with the edge.
Sarah's saying maybe if I was a Dare parent in the 80s, I would like the Lazy Lions or be afraid of them. I don't know which one, but only then. Man, Dare, you guys remember that?
It does actually kind of now that you say it. I get where you're going. The Dare mascot, whoever that was. I'm trying to
McGruff.
Yeah, McGruff. Yeah.
Oh, the McGruff dog.
Similar kind of illustration style a little bit. Yeah.
I'm surprised there's no McGruff NFT.
Yeah,
sounds like something like Gary Gensler and fucking
play with
Elizabeth
a pun.
Warren would launch.
There probably is actually out there. I bet there's some McGruffs or something. I'm like desperately over here trying to figure out if this guy Jayendra Jog, the co-founder of SEI, has any pets. And I'm not finding anything. Jayendra,
we got to talk to Jay.
We need to know.
Great idea.
Where are you at, Jay? Do you have a cat? Do you have a dog? Do you have a guinea pig? What do you have? Do you have an absolutely homicidal guinea pig?
A fucking goldfish.
Yeah. Yeah, do you have a goldfish and can we name it?
All right.
Long.
Real quick.
Pause.
All right,
pause,
guys,
look. Pause.
I would love to run this show for another 2 hours, but God knows what would be said. I do need to get off here in the next probably 10 minutes, man. I'm just tired. Like my body is tired. Yeah. I feel the same as DP. Like we've been getting after it all week. It's been a fantastic one. I mean, we've had a lot of things happening on the network from Subber to what we've been doing here within GM Web3. We had Roger Dickerman. We have the Say What in the morning for the second week. Like there's a lot going on, but I feel behind. So I needed a nap and to get back into it. So real quick, I got a couple different links that I want to show. This is more on the negative side, so I'd like for somebody to bring me out on the positive here at the end of the day. NFT Ethics has been around the industry a little bit. They originally, I think, were the ones that doxed Beanie, I believe. Yep. I think it was Beanie. There's a little bit of a tie-in here that I don't want to go down a rabbit hole, but we at ICO Alert, we worked with a company called ICO Ethics, and they did a little bit of the same things. I've never been able to say if the ICO Ethics people are NFT Ethics, but we have a dox of Foobar today, who's a larger account here within Web3, like fully as far down as like saying that he was formerly a Mormon who was on a missionary. I mean, they got pics. I'm not, and honestly, I lean more towards like, what are they doing? What's the reasoning behind this? Because really the post says, okay, 0xFoobar launched a new universal name service today, which might be an appropriate occasion to dox him. So I don't know where I lean on this, fellas. Like more so probably towards the Web3 side of saying like, if somebody wants to be anonymous, let them be so. I know there's a ton of negatives to having dox teams and the ability to rug and all that stuff.
Undoxed.
Oh yeah, undoxed teams. Yeah. So it's interesting. I don't want to get too far down, but it was a story worth talking about.
Well,
yeah. Go ahead.
Well, it just seems to me like the reason why he's pointing this out is because this becomes another potential way for him to extract a ton of money without having necessarily any basic accountability. And what I think he's trying to point to is like, look, this guy's been using his anonymity to basically run a bunch of maybe grifts. I don't know. I haven't read it. I didn't look into it, but I'm assuming the reason why he's doing it is because he's like, look, he's been kind of grifting as an anon for a long time, taking a bunch of money down, and now he's launching this whole new platform. And so because this guy's anonymous, there's literally no accountability for him. I don't know. I'm assuming that's why they're doing this. They're saying like, hey, at least know who this fucking guy is. So if he runs off with millions of dollars and fucking rugs this project, like, we know who it is.
I mean, I get it, but I mean, in my opinion, like, is doxing him really gonna do anything? Right? Because how can I put it? I guess I mean, listen. The 0xFoobar is like, he's a familiar character within the space. Like, people know they know his name, right? Whether he's doxed or not. So, you know, if you don't rock with the guy, anything he's launching, you should avoid it like the plague anyway. I don't necessarily know, like, honestly, I don't really give a shit about him being a Mormon or, you know, him or what his real identity is, because truth be told, like, anytime we've seen any of these people doxed, and maybe this is just me speaking early and the fallout hasn't come yet, but truth be told, it hasn't done anything. Like, none of these people has yielded any results for a lot of these cases. Now, some people have gotten in trouble legally, but you know, when it comes to certain stuff like him launching a new ENS service, I mean, listen, if he provides the product that he's out here pitching, I don't know if it's really an appropriate occasion to dox him. You know what I mean?
It's fucked up. I mean,
look, the takes are all over the place. You saw it there on X. Like, some people are saying, you know, we deserve to kind of dox these folks, that they're going to kind of like a full rug. And that's thrown out like very broadly in this industry. A rug is thrown out as broadly as you can cast that fucking net. It's been casted. And if someone actually rugs a project, then they deserve to be doxxed, is kind of the narrative that the detractors are taking. But also a ton of people looking at NFT ethics and saying, you know, this is scummy. So I want the other takes. Also a ton of great comments coming through. I don't want to spend too much time, fellas, but let's go around.
Now real quick, I will say one thing. If you're gonna dox somebody, then you should dox yourself too. You know what I mean? It's
a great point.
If they aren't, then I definitely agree with that for sure. Because to me,
I disagree with that point, because a lot of times when you're doxing a lot of these individuals,
there's danger. That's true.
That's the argument, right? Is if you're targeting high net worth individuals like this that have a ton of money, then there's an element to like, hey, I'm calling out 10 different folks. One of these folks might come after me.
I fully understand the history of crypto and Web3. And so I understand why anonymity has been baked into the DNA as a value that a lot of people are still extremely protective of. I fully understand the history of anonymity in crypto. That said, I'm still on the side of, if we actually want to move the space forward and grow it, then the people who are responsible for shepherding massive platforms, taking down millions and millions of dollars of the community's money, of investors' money, that there has to be some accountability tied to that. So I'm kind of like, I lean towards the side of like, whether or not this was a shitty way to do it, I'll debate that. Maybe this wasn't the best way. Maybe there is some weird bias. I don't know. But I still lean on the side of like, if I'm for the community and for building a sustainable community, what usually happens is that people use anonymity and when they're building stuff to do shady stuff and avoid accountability. And so that outweighs a lot of the other arguments that people have to me when they're just trying to say like, oh, but like, what if they need this or exception to the rule or so, you know, okay, be anonymous. But if you're going to be trying to launch massive platforms and take down millions of people's dollars and say that you're going to deliver a product, to me, it's like, I need to know a little bit about that fucking team. Like, I just don't think there's any way that you can expect a responsible team, usually speaking, 99% of the time. I understand there might be an exception, like maybe Punk 6529 is like an exception to the rule, right? I'm not saying there's not exceptional people that are anonymous and still responsible, but 99% of the time, you don't get any responsibility or accountability from anonymous founders because you can't. There's no way to track that shit.
Dayton, dude, the point that you were making earlier too, like I fully am on board with in a sense. You know what I mean? Like if you're going to be calling out people, it's weird to throw stones in a glass house. It's just, to me, there is a security issue of being the accounts that are calling out these massive accounts or people doing bad things. So
yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. I you know, you get no argument from me there.
Biggie, Huda.
Yeah, I just think it's shitty. I'd like to know the motivation for it. I don't see that there's any upside to it. I don't like it. I'm sorry. Yeah.
All right, Biggie, I want to bring you in here as well. There is comments, obviously, on this. First of all, Super Arsenal saying, what can I do with Magic Eden Diamonds? Maybe we can touch on that quickly. Nick Sorber saying, that's F for him. I don't like it. Cam Taylor saying, what's worse, a hard rug or a slow rug? I'll touch on that here in just a moment. And then Sarah is saying, I agree, mainstreamers will want accountability and doxing of people behind projects, dApps, etc. And Marty's saying doxing is just wrong. All right. And just in case he has fallen on his keyboard, someone send help. All right,
that's his cat.
Hold on, Biggie, real quick. Do you have any take here?
Man, I'm a bit like Switzerland in this regard. There, I think like accountability is important, and like these cases, it's one of those things where I always want to hear like case by case basis because it's different every time. I also think like when you're doxing people, when you're gonna go ahead and do that, at least country where I'm from, and like how things move around, like you just you got to know what you're doing. Like if you're doing it, like be prepared to receive backlash, right? Or be prepared to potentially have to face other consequences, right? Like that might be outside the law or what have you, right? Like you don't, like when you are going after somebody's privacy, just understand that's some of them, that's as private a space as you can get, right? And so if you're going to deny somebody else that, like their reaction might not be, I like don't expect somebody to just sit back and not do anything. I just like, that just seems common sense to me, and so it's one of those things where at the same time, I do feel like some bad actors should be called out, should be brought to light, should be brought to justice, be accountable for it, right? But the process, how you do it, when you do it, and who should do it, that I think is a different fucking.
Nothing hits harder than I guess nothing is brought up more, I should probably say, than the Wild West analogy, and this is a great example. Like we almost have to police ourselves out here.
It's vigilante justice. No, it is, and like this is why Zach XBT has been lauded. This is why CoffeeZilla is so important, and arguably why NFT ethics could be too. Again, not everybody's going to agree with the methodologies. I'm willing to question how they did this and was it the appropriate time or way to do something. But like we have to, as a community, find ways, whether this is the right way or not, we have to find ways right now to police ourselves. And it is literally vigilante justice. Because otherwise, again, we all know what happens when there's zero fucking accountability in the crypto space. And it doesn't usually end well for most people. And I'll just add to that my take on Cam's question of what's worse, a hard rug or a slow rug. I think, as much as the word rug is thrown around, a lot of times slow rugs are coming from teams that just didn't succeed, but were actually good intentioned and really tried.
That's exactly right.
And the intention is very different. A hard rug is like, no, I intended to fucking like scam you usually.
I don't even what you just said, Gif. I wouldn't even put in the category of a rug. Like in my opinion, when
that's
you think about
how
a
people
rug,
use it.
It's how
that's
they
how
fucking
people use it.
Yeah, totally. That's what this space loves to do. But my thing with rugs, they need to be like it's a premeditated thing. It's
well, that's a hard and
no,
this
slow
question
rug can be intentional. A slow rug can totally be intentional.
I think it can be. I think more often than not, it's just because the team couldn't fucking get it to the next step, and the project didn't continue to have that momentum. People left.
But that's not
whatever
a rug.
It is.
That's just a failed business.
But in the context of this question, that's how people use slow rug all the fucking time.
Yes.
Literally every time I see people use slow rug, it's usually a similar situation to that. And so I'm just saying when you differentiate between slow and hard rug, a hard rug is what is generally what you're saying, where it's like a very intentional rug pull where you're literally just like yanking liquidity, disappearing a fucking Discord, taking down a Twitter.
People do that over a long period of time. Though. I'll tell you. Yeah, slow rugs are definitely something that agrees. That happens.
I think slow rugs are more exhausting and like more involved because one party's always prolonging and obfuscating the inevitable, right? And so I hate that. You know, it just adds like a fucking extra time and sometimes emotional taxing, process than just a straight fucking fast rug. Not that I prefer either. I don't like them. Please no. No more rugs. I have plenty. I can open a fucking store if I want. But yeah, slow rugs. I hate them.
So Christian Jensen saying doxing an innocent is never okay. It's up to the customer's users to decide, etc. I generally agree with that. I think the question here is whether or not this is necessarily an innocent person, because I think what they're trying to show is maybe a history of not necessarily innocent behavior. So if it's an innocent person and you're just doxing them without a good reason, well, yeah, that's an easy call. I think this is a more nuanced or muddier call here. And again, I'm not saying I fully agree with this move because I haven't even read the thread at all. So maybe again, this specific method might not be the way to be handling it.
Nick Swerve saying it's nuanced, just like a Turkish rug versus an Egyptian rug.
Yeah, that's funny. But in a perfect community, right, or in a perfect world, I would propose that there, instead of the involuntary doxing, I would propose that any project that debuts that has an anonymous founder be placed on like a communal blacklist until they're proven. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know that's a lot to ask, and because I know everybody's just not gonna get on board with it. But
it's too easy for people to spin up new accounts and whatever. Like,
but that's why I said any project that has an anonymous founder automatically falls into that list, and it's on the onus of that project to work itself off of that list.
So it's guilty until proven innocent.
Yep, exactly.
All right.
All right. Look, I know I said I didn't want to spend too much time. It's a nuanced conversation. Maybe that's why we did spend 10 to 15 minutes and just kind of get everybody's take. But I think the commenters and community members here have some great takes, and I appreciate my co-host kind of leaning into it as well. I'm going to end with some positive news. First of all, Pixelmon appears to have got $8 million of funding here to add on to that initial 70 mil that they raised from the community. So I think
Let's go, Kevin.
I think Animoca is involved in this as well, because of course if it's gaming related, Animoca has to be involved. And then let me just show this off as the last thing that I'm going to show up here on the screen. Apparently, the hat made it to the NYC Bull. So we got a dog with hat reference here, a meme coin that's almost surpassing Pepe. And it is now made it to cool. Meme coins. Kind of getting involved in culture is super interesting to me. Like how much they kind of are and are not related to culture is interesting. You got the bull with the hat on. But yeah, guys,
it really is. Can we agree? It's almost like when you go to when you go to see soccer, right? Like or a football match, and everybody starts trying to do the wave. And there's like a couple of failed attempts, and then all of a sudden everybody picks up, and it's like 1, 2, 3. It's almost like that, right? Like you're trying to coordinate attention rapidly in an instant, right? And then prolong it as much as possible. Yeah.
And let me ask you a question: Is this a sign of us moving into a new financial era, or just a sign of how degen fucking society has become? To where now you seeing like people actually
they've always been. There was like images of like sexual acts on Roman walls and stuff like that. We've always been fucking degen.
But I guess what I'm, but you know, I guess, well, nah, you're right, because you're right.
Humans will always be petty gamblers at the end of the day. That's something that I'm realizing.
All right, the question here, Super Arsenal is making sure that we answer this before we head off today, and I'm going to shut down the show here in like the next 2 minutes. Scalper saying, so can anyone explain exactly what the Magic Eden diamonds are worth? What's the main purpose behind these? I think Marty's hitting it on the head, saying hold diamonds and hope they turn into a coin. I'm sure Magic Eden's going to also,
points, Marty, points. I want to know how many points you got, Marty.
Loyalty gets rewarded in this this situation. It is Magic Eden diamonds. They are points, and you're gonna get rewarded, past, present, and future. Also, we don't really have the answer to that. I think everyone's actually figuring it out.
They call them diamonds, but they're really points.
Yeah, Marty's strong Foobar supporter saying he is an innocent person. Again, I'm not familiar with him, and I haven't read the thread. I said that a million times. So maybe this method was wrong. Said that several times. The diamonds, I don't know, man. Like I'm gonna, I guess, get a few, maybe, hopefully. And it's just points. I mean, it's like it's just gamifying, getting everybody using them, and again, it's literally
using them for what?
On the speculation that there might be a token and some value that comes.
But why don't they call them marbles instead of diamonds?
Because diamonds historically have been valuable and sound awesome.
Okay.
Listen, the only diamonds that we acknowledge around here are the diamonds that were released by Sarah Script.
Yeah, I love that. It's literally how payments platforms have always grown.
I know you're not about to go into a nuance when I said I'm shutting down the show, right?
No, like all right. PayPal did the same thing even back then when they were trying to growth hack, right? So
they like name their points.
No, but they literally paid people to participate and share it out and growth hack. It's always just get points, get value back for participating in our ecosystem. This is what these payments platforms do to growth hack.
All right, we're shutting down NFT Live. We're shutting down the week here. What's that, DP?
Let's keep it going.
I just want to. I would keep it going, but Q is tired, man. He's tired, but I would love to keep it going. I'd love to do like a super show, but
it's supposed to be 4 hours on Fridays.
I could leave and then come back and end the stream 2 hours later if you want.
It's supposed to be 4 hours on Fridays.
Yeah. Now before we go, what are we doing with the Seipes? Are we sweeping the floor? Are we grabbing one? The price, it fell down to 149 on the floor, but now it's like 169.
Are you talking about Seipes?
Yeah.
I'm not grabbing at this price.
So a ton of people were talking about the Seipes, and like pretty heavy hitters in the SEI ecosystem were like, hey, this team knows what the fuck they're doing. Do we know any utility or anything of what they're building?
You know, let's address that statement. Like, this team knows what the fuck. What does that mean, bro? Yeah. Like, because I've been hearing that thrown around with a lot of people. Like, what the fuck does that mean? That this team knows what the fuck they're doing? Okay, so what's on the roadmap? What's coming?
That's a great question. I didn't buy Seipes. I'm buying it off the narrative. So, like, you can't get involved in 50 different projects and know exactly what each one is doing, right? So that's
true. I just think. Go ahead, Gil.
Well, I was reading about it in their Discord. There's no platform to promise. There's no big roadmap. They're trying to just be the SEI collection that's integrated into a bunch of other platforms and projects. So they're just trying to create a community hub in SEI, as far as I know. They're just trying to be.
this is how I feel about these new projects that are dropping. That's like,
all right. So Monkey House, DAOs, like these are all things that have been thrown around. Apparently, a launch pad. Like these are things. It's not just a picture. Monkey House, DAO, and then they also have a launch pad, and they're saying etc.
They have a launch pad, or they're just saying they might do a launch pad?
Yeah, they're bootstrapping a company that wants to launch these 3 products that I just laid out there. Does that make you feel better?
No, it doesn't. Because I'm gonna tell you why. Because like it feels like everybody is like, you know what I would like to see? I would like for this to be like the first ecosystem where people look over and say, oh, that project is building the launch pad. Why don't we build a utility for the launch pad? Or why don't we build another service? Like I just don't like the overlapping of everybody building the same thing. And also, number 2, these projects that are coming, these new projects that are being launched, like brand new projects that are being launched that are coming in saying, oh yeah, you know, we're about to create the booming community within the SEI ecosystem. We already have that. You know, we have DOB, we have Sayings, we have WeBump. You know, I do think there's room for like maybe 2 more, you know, Grapes and somebody else that might be coming. But other than that,
are you talking about the Kryptonite Siemens?
Well, you know, I think they're about to have utility though. I think they're gonna have. I think it's supposed to be like a DeFi play, kind of like
Siemens has always been for utility.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like they're gonna make a lot of little
best utility.
A lot of little say babies.
Is there a better utility than life? You can't fade it.
Bringing life to say. That's a good tagline. Semen, bringing new life to say.
Wow.
Seipes went 3 to 5x post mint. Outlines went 4 to 6x, and Yaka, of course, earlier this week on Monday went 10x. Biggie Poppins is gonna lose it if we don't shut down the show here. All right, last takes. I'm gonna lose it. We'll start with DP and we'll end with the guys just not able to finish this show. But DP, thank you for joining us, bro. Last takes.
Thank you for having me. Semen, bringing new life to say. Clip it.
It's honestly pretty good. Hey, I'm just saying.
It's Friday.
I'm just saying.
It's okay.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
Who to save us?
Huda's literally just been watching us spin for like 30 minutes right now.
Oh my God. Yeah. You guys are in rare form today. Holy shit.
Look. We made it. It's the end of the show.
Look.
It's Friday.
Look.
You ain't got shit to do. Try not to spend it all degenning in front of the computer. Go out, touch some grass, be with your family, be with your friends. We love you, fam. And if you do want to be a degen and you want to continue seeing at least some of these pretty faces around here, you can join me and that bearded fella below tomorrow at 7 a.m. I don't know what time zone it is, but you look it up because
What time is that? 8:15 a.m. Eastern time. You can join this Furby-looking fuck in the beautiful Biggie.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So,
all right, I'm gonna head
OBOT, fam.
OBOT.
We will be seeing you on Monday.
Huda gets to take us out.
Hey, are we doing some Saturday night give? Are we on?
Dude.
Oh yeah. Dob after dark or say what after dark? I
feel like you looking like you didn't even remember. Like,
I feel like originally it was say what, and then Nifty Q basically stole
Any given
it.
Slong Day.
And yeah, any given Schlong day is good. But I feel like the Say What has now picked up over the last week. Q's been doing a great job with his morning shows. People are loving it. So I feel like we should just run Say What after dark too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you think this show got off the rails, I don't know what Gift Ed's cooking up on a Saturday night. Sarah Weinstock saying, my sister just asked if Chris Pratt is on the show when I sent her a screenshot of what I was watching.
It's Chris Pratt's cousin.
Talking about Biggie over here? This guy looks pretty good. This guy looks good.
Look, we'll be back next week. Thank you guys. We survived another 7 days here in Web3. Hopefully we can get after it again next week and just do it all over. Love you guys. OVOT.